We stopped by the Activision booth here at E3 to find out a little bit what's going on with the Amazing Spider-Man. First of all, what are you showing off behind closed doors here?
We're showing The Amazing Spider-Man. So this is the brand new Spider-Man game from Beenox. This is something that's obviously based or inspired from the movie of the same name. And this is something that is just the Spider-Man we've always wanted to do. Like, we've done a couple of Spider-Man games throughout the years, but this game is actually, we've rebuilt most of the systems from scratch to give you the ultimate Spider-Man experience.
And exactly what kind of level or things are you showing behind closed doors?
Yeah. Well, the important thing to say is that our game actually, the game story takes place after the events of the movie. So that gives us a bunch of creative liberty with the franchise. So we were able to introduce a lot more stuff in the game that people have not seen in the movie. So that's kind of really nice. So you get to, and we're able to introduce a lot of new Marvel villains. So behind those doors, we're actually showing, among other things, Rhino. So you get to see what a Rhino fight is all about. But which is cool is that the Rhino, because it's a rebooted universe, it's not the Rhino you used to see. He's not a guy in a suit. He's actually a Rhino that has been mixed with human DNA, and that has created this like a super huge creature that you get to fight. And every single Marvel characters you have in the game have had that same treatment. Kind of this are rebooted, and we've worked with Marvel to get to recreate their origin story.
So yeah, I guess that's the big thing with a new movie. It's a reboot. Quite tight to the other movies, really. It's not been a long wait between there.
Yeah.
But but the whole reboot has been envisioned by Marvel and sort of set like what's next, and you're sort of filling in the gap between this and perhaps where the reboot is going next.
Oh, I wouldn't say we're filling the gap between the two. I mean, I think we're providing an extended experience based on what you've seen in a movie, and this is something that the storyline obviously had to be approved by Sony and by Marvel. Make sure we don't do any spoiler, and everything is all right in the line of the movie. But they've been so great at working with us. Like right at the beginning, we had a great connection. They trusted us. They let us do our what we're doing best, is creating video games. And they created an awesome movie to go along with it, so it's cool.
So I understand that you've made Spider-Man games in the past. Those have been sort of level-based, but this is more of an open-world experience?
Yeah. Well, yeah, we're bringing back free roaming. It's been 4 years, actually, since the last time you were able to just web swing in Manhattan. It wasn't back at the time with Web of Shadows. So we are giving you a lot of stuff to do in Manhattan, a lot of side missions, really cool unlockables. You get, for the first time ever, you get to unlock full comic book issues. That's the first time Marvel has ever allowed that. So a bunch of really cool stuff to do in Manhattan, but we also are including indoor levels as well, and we've tweaked all the Spider-Man mechanics to really make it feel great in an indoor environment. Things like the web swing, for example, is different. You don't swing the same way outside and inside. All those little details. Because we think indoor levels are still best suited to tell a story. Like, we are able to craft them around a specific narrative, and it's really cool. So we're balancing both, and you'll be able to experience both in the game.
I think that's quite a challenge for many developers to sort of make a game that's great in the open world as well as in enclosed spaces. What's the trick to pulling that off?
I don't know. I mean, I guess that you have to provide. It's great to provide both experiences because it provides like something different pacing, like here and there. Like, for example, in indoor levels, players can go on and do something that's more kind of a end-to-end combat if they want to, or they can have a more stealth-based approach to the levels. So, which is really cool. It's different, like depending on who you are as a player. So. Yeah.
So I guess you're one of the people who most intimately know how the new rebooted Spider-Man and Peter Parker are as characters. How would you describe him, and sort of, is there any difference between the Peter Parker Spider-Man that we know?
Well, I mean, it's definitely a different Peter Parker. I cannot talk too much about like how they're treating him in the movie and everything, but it's definitely a new take on the franchise. But we are giving you some familiar elements. So, for example, we're giving you a camera, so you can take pictures of whatever you want, and you can save them in a digital photo album. We're giving you in a game. So, and we do have one sequence where you are as Peter Parker, but we are really focusing on the Spider-Man part of it. Yeah.
So in suit.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So when's it coming out? Is it coming out before the movie or?
It is. It's actually coming a bit before the movie, so it's going to come in North America on June 26th. It's going to be available on the 360, PS3, Nintendo Wii, 3DS, DS, and we have also just announced a PC version that's going to come a bit later.
And you're doing all the versions, or is it a collaboration?
All the version I've mentioned, yeah, except for the DS version, which is done by Other Ocean.
Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you very much.